I'm gonna start over. Um, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. November 6th, 22. These people are insane. They've been out driving by screaming stuff. Woke up about 3 again. I have nightmares from this case on a godly level. The horror these people have put me through, and now they're down here terrorizing me. And they've been terrorizing me. And that retired judge is not funny. Nor is that agent that was his friend that out of his jurisdiction picked up my case to help bully me. And I said, do you realize, well, because my apartment's back from that case, and I'm supposed to be in police protective custody as an informant. The only time they're allowed to watch you is protective custody, and they have to speak to everyone before they start. There's nothing else. Otherwise, you're stalking that person. No officer, no agent can be in your home. No one, except for protected light cases. It is what it is. You have a right to privacy, a right to remain quiet, right to an attorney, right to a fair court, trial, bail, and bond, a right not to be mistreated, and you have a freedom of speech. For every constitutional right broke, it's 1 to 10. Conflict of interest is 1 to 10 and $1 million fine. And then they're stalking, obstructed justice, selling police information. These people have life in federal. If somebody would actually do their job. Okay. So, I'm going on and on and on and on. Where they're driving by screaming, I said, do you realize how stupid they are? Bringing up Will badgering me. Because with them bringing up him badgering me, it goes into the Department of Justice, the monitor. So where they said he was in it with Pete the whole time. That's why he grabbed my case out of his jurisdiction. Do you realize, and where everybody kept saying they didn't know who that guy that went to Pima, my God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's a Stark County Sheriff. He's a spitting image of Judge Timothy Ludick. He could be his kid. Where I say he looks like the guy from the cooking show. You'd have to fill out his face a lot. Young it up, black hair, slick back, and heavy black glasses. The reason why the Portage County Sheriff's didn't know is because he's a Stark. He's a Stark County Sheriff. How much you want to bet with that Will being crowd? He needed someone to go up for backup. Called up and took one of the undercover sheriffs with him. And while Payne was freaking out, screaming, my God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. He pointed at the wrong man. Will should have been sitting there with the sheriff. And he wasn't. And Paymer didn't look over and see who exactly it was. He pointed at the sheriff. Do you realize that with that sheriff looking over, he knew exactly what Will did? He told on me. With him being friends with Pete, he probably went up there to find dirt on me. Where they mocked me for that Vega up there. That's why they said they were all helping out. Where I explained before about I got well the year that guy's kid died. Nothing to do with the death. But Strange lied to everybody. She was faking she was sick and faking she got well. To her poor mom while he's grieving, he's a millionaire. So they kiss his ass. And he's sick. Losing it at that funeral, laying on the floor wailing like a 2-year-old. Carrying him out. Lost it mentally. He's a millionaire. Yeah. And I said he wants me dead. 19 years ago, I got well. A few months later, we weren't even around anywhere near when when his father-in-law ran a stop sign with his kid in the car and a semi hit him. It's Phil's fault. Unless they tampered with his brakes, Strange did for him standing up to him. Yeah. My whole family was at my house. Okay? And Brian Laney had to come over and tell us. Do you know, Strange is so controlling. There was other people going to that baseball game. And they try to call him and say, they just got hit and killed. You liar. And he's calling him a liar. And they're like, they're dead, you need to get a hold of. Instead of them being men and women enough to pick it up and call Joyce and Ron themselves, they kept calling him Strange because Strange controls them. Okay? And he's calling them a liar and calling them names and hanging up on them. They had to wait for the bodies to get to the hospital for them to call Vega. It was that bad. Because once he yelled at them, they couldn't do it themselves. And there were such children there. They had to have his permission to call. And they're grown adults. They control him that much. Like robots. It's a call. Well, I started going over with Will going up there. Do you realize that sheriff, when he looked over, he realized what Will had done. He told on me for calling the FBI. What is that? Obstruction to justice. Tampering with evidence. He should have looked at Will and said, I need to see you outside. And arrested him right then and there. Because the case hadn't even started. Because the case didn't start until Will took my statement and agreed to protect me. And that officer talked to Dave. Like Officer Reinhardt Lassville said, until Will took your statement and he agreed to protect you, there's nothing else. So it would be illegal for them to be in my home. Okay? Well, we're going to put it to this. Do you know how disgusting that phone call was between me and Will? When I called him up and I'm crying like crazy. Now, he's already cracked. He's already told on me. Okay? Yeah. He's been in it with Pete because they're friends. And apparently they're the ones running this little extortion ring. Breaking in people's home for personal gain, photoshopping them, and date rape drugging them. How stupid are they? Right? Because you don't want to ever say you were in my home before you took my statement. It's stalking. Yeah. So, I call him up and I try to tell him, I told you what happened at Huntington Bank. At the banker, I had all those tapes. You liar, you confess you're lying or I'll put you in jail. I'm like, what? Now, I'm already scared for my life. They've been date rape drugging me. Not thinking clearly, crying my eyes out, realizing the 4 attempts were them. And how stupid was I not realizing it was them. And he's screaming at me, you either say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. You hear me, you say it. And I'm scared for my life. I should have hung up. In my right mind of where they wouldn't have been drugging me, I would have hung up on them. But being confused because I've been date rape drugged, I let him badger me. And I said, but it happened in the banker, You either say it or I'll put you in jail. You hear me? And I'm like, fine, whatever. Say it! So I said whatever he said. I'll arrest you. Do you realize how sick that is? Mentally sick stuff. Mentally sick. And, I think I tried to tell him about Pamer, too. If I remember. See, I've lived through so much and they were drugging me up, trying to get... But he was screaming at me, calling me a liar. Do you know, he's like, no, I got you, said it. And I start pleading for my life. Pleading for my life. If you don't help me, they will kill me. Please don't let them kill me. You don't understand. And I'm pleading for my life from this idiot. If he don't help me, they will kill me. They've tried 4 times. But I already got you saying it recorded. I got it, he laughs. How disgusting is FBI headquarters gonna find that? How disgusting should any agent find some other agent badgering a victim? 1729 Department of Justice, obstruction to justice, victimizing a victim, a witness, or an informant. No false statements in any way. 1729 is punishable as obstruction to justice. It's 5 to 7 years at least. So where do you want to keep saying that Will did it to me? How stupid are they bringing it up at all? Because on that phone call, I sat there and plead for my life from him. And if you don't help me, they will kill me. Do you understand? Please. I beg of you. Crying and pleading from this idiot to help me. How disgusting of a pig is he? To make some woman gravel for her life that he just badgered into a false statement. When I had tape and audio from Giant Eagle, Huntington Bank, and a banker screaming at CM together. I was no lying. Do we understand? Now, how stupid was Will? How? How stupid are these people? And where he said, if you tell someone all this, you're crazy. He's not a licensed psychiatrist. Not a couple of them either. And I wasn't tested by them. And he can't do that. And he doesn't have the authority. And no judge had me committed to a state asylum. He was badgering me more and to stay quiet till they killed me. It was a fake setup. My friend from the prosecutor's office said in Stark County they had a real bad problem with people taking backdoor deals and letting people get victimized and killed here. Do you realize that Stark County sheriff knew Will told on me before I called him back? He didn't arrest Will for obstruction to justice and tampering with evidence. Do you realize the FBI never, ever, ever wants to ever insult me that Will badgered a false statement and the media eat them alive? We've heard about what that agent did. That's disgusting for that woman to have to gravel for her life when she's already scared to death. What is wrong with you people that you didn't get her out of there? See what I mean? They said he was in it with Pete the whole time. They're running their little own extortion ring, kicking in people's doors, photoshopping scenes illegally, and date rape darking people. That's called life in federal. And then using their clout to obstruct justice so people don't help that victim. That's a big, oh my God, life in federal. And how stupid were they? Bringing up that phone call of that agent making me gravel for my life. And then laugh at me. He actually laughed on the phone after he bullied a false statement. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office, the police know they can't go along with it. It's illegal, 1729 badgering. It's obstruction of justice and tampering with evidence. Just like he doesn't have authority to tell people to list me crazy and no one can help me. He doesn't run the FBI. He just worked there. And he was no longer employed when he did that because he just lost his badge. You do realize that, right? He can't break in other people's homes. He can't date rape drug them. He can't Photoshop scenes and extort money and still be an agent. And then he can't badger that poor victim not knowing it was him doing it with his retired judge friend, trying to extort everything out of that victim and then bullying him into a false statement and then laughing at him. And then tell a fake setup that no one can help. People need to realize how mentally ill retired Judge Pete and Will's retired too. Canton should have never seen my case. I lived in Portage County. It should have went to Akron. And with Will knowing Pete, he should have could not have been over my case. Then we wouldn't have had this problem. And my friend from the prosecutor's office said they were having a lot of problems with this in Stark County. Of investigators letting people get victimized and killed. Called backdoor deals. So where do you want to say that Will and Pete deserve life in federal? And we're sorry, Karen, they mistreated you so bad. Where does the FBI want to say anything? But we're sorry, one of our agents badgered you and left you up there to die and talked to you so horribly. Huh? Because my friend, not only my friend from a prosecutor, but even officers, that agent can't talk to you that way. Had no right. And what do you mean he did? He goes to jail for talking to me that way. So I never talked to anybody on threats of my life. Nobody's asked me of wrongdoing. So where were you talking about the people kicking in my door? Apparently photoshopped a shower scene and date rape drug me? I'm not in trouble for the stalking tapes. And if you want to keep putting Will's name on it, that he was that much in with Pete in this extortion ring, then arrest him. Because it's not funny. I literally grovelled for my life that day. Grovelled as he laughed. And you can't tell me another agent wouldn't find that disgusting, that somebody used their position to victimize the victim they were victimizing and already trying to set them up to extort money and were drugs and photoshopping and stalking them. That they would even ever say a word and say, well, where would that agent take me before? I never talked to him before. Huh? How would he get it? I never talked to him. I had my door kicked in. I had bruises before then, large ones. I was getting sick, and hours were passing. I didn't know what was happening to me. You want to say he's a drugger and kidnapper? A stalker? That he's that he's photoshopping scenes with this retired judge and they're running their own little extortion ring? Is that what you're saying? Then you're saying you're sorry, right? Because police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life, and they have to speak to everyone before they start. Or it's abuse and misconduct, and failure to protect is abuse and misconduct, and it goes to right to privacy. Illegal search and seizure. Just because you're an FBI agent, you can't kick somebody's door in, start stalking them, Photoshop scenes, and date rape drugging them. And then lying FSOD and pentothal reports and run a case like a spy flick movie thing. And obstruct justice and terrorize somebody to death. And here you were already behind their back, date rape drugging them and tell them to say something stupid and photoshopping scenes, being idiots and mentally ill. So besides saying we're sorry for what that agent did, if he was in it before, we're very sorry. Because he should have known nothing. Because I never talked to anybody wrongdoing. It comes down to that. I've never was questioned. Matter of fact, Will told me to admit to no wrongdoing, and he'd take care of it in the end. He left me up there to die. He never even questioned me of wrongdoing. Got it? Nobody has. That's how sick this is. My ex defended me on tape. Expected him to, and where I was getting sick on his drinks. They said he was roofing me and telling me to say something stupid too. The only thing I feel really stupid for is loving my ex-husband. 30 years. 33. Men that will beat you will kill you. And when they find people this evil on Satan levels, they will use them to help destroy you for the fun of it. It's part of that psychopath disorder. Now, besides them saying they're sorry for that agent badgering me, and he had no right making me grapple for my life. Huh? Well, I'm already scared to death. I'm blowing a false statement. Because why would I even say it if he wasn't? Do you understand? Because he even told me to admit to no wrongdoing and take care of it in the end. He never even questioned me. Huh? And him badgering a false statement of just trying to say I was lying when I wasn't, and I had all that proof. Because he was in it with Pete for we called Will and explained Michelle and he set her up. And how stupid are they? They had an agent that could have put me in the witness protection program. Told me to get my clothes, sent a marshal out there. And they could have had everything. The cars, the vehicles, everything. Never had to pay alimony. Nothing. They had a perfect setup. They could have got me the hell out of there fast. And they could have had her sign an annulment real quick. And he got everything. But see, that would have been human. Human. You can't ask people that are Satan possessed to act human. Because I've never been questioned of wrongdoing. I've never been prosecuted. I've never been found guilty. They run around lying to people I have charges where they photoshopped, seen, and date raped me. And lied they had sodium pentothal reports. It's one of the things I said to Abigail Watkins. Portage County prosecutor, FBI don't use sodium pentothal. I know. Nobody does. I know. Nobody drugs anybody. I know. Criminals do. Nobody breaks into somebody's home and stalks them. But stalkers and criminals and killers. It's illegal no matter what to be in somebody's home and watch them. It's the Fourth Amendment. You have a right to privacy. You also have a right to remain quiet. Fifth, you have a right to an attorney. Sixth. Seventh, you have a right to a fair court trial. Bail bond. Eighth, not to be mistreated. When it comes to will, you have a freedom of speech. First Amendment. See, there's a constitution that we can live our lives safe and free. And this communist stuff that they're doing, it doesn't happen. Domestic terrorism is a group of people stemming from political and religious backing, okay, with threats or harm to human life, okay, to further their own ideology, their own beliefs, against the U.S. constitutional law. So besides the FBI ever saying, my God, that man was a monster to Karen, and he is obstructing to justice, tampered with evidence. Is she all right? I heard what happened. We're sorry. I don't want to ever hear it because the media will destroy them. That your agents are badgering false statements out of people that are scared for their life and asking you for help. My God. Huh? They're kicking in people's doors, stalking them, and breaking all these constitutional laws. My God, they're date rape, drugging people, photoshopping scenes to extort money for personal gain. What on earth? You arrested that agent, right? You were part of any of that, and let alone obstruction of justice, tampering with evidence? What do you have to say about it? It's going to be no comment. We'll address it. And he's being processed. So I would fix this if I was, see, I was talking to somebody. They said, you don't realize. And they were actually talking on the phone to somebody. There was a shooting night up there. Uh-huh. So do you want to talk about Will badgering me and making me grovel for my life and laughing at me on the phone? And how disgusting of a pig he is? And they know they would have to arrest him instead of slamming at my face what he did to me and how he was cruel. See, I actually went out to eat with an officer, sat and talked to him about a lot of different things, different times. He said, yeah, they have to take your statement if they believe you or not. They can yell badgering. They yell badgering, you lose your badge, you can go to jail. It's tampering with evidence, obstruction of justice. And that idiot agent made me grovel. And that sheriff knew, he told on me the night before. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's that sick. And he didn't arrest him. So do I ever want to hear from the FBI that they're backing agents, stalking people in their private homes, photoshopping them, date rape, drugging them? They didn't arrest their agents for being hardened criminals, for telling on somebody who called the hotline, not realizing it was that perp doing it to him. And that perpetrator, because that's what he is a perpetrator, he's a criminal. And he used his clout to go up there and told on me and then threatened me and badgered me into a false statement, thinking he's funny and laughing at me, and made me plead for my life as he giggled. How sick he is. Do you think think they should say anything besides they're sorry? Do you think the media would ask them the same thing? Because why on earth would I say I was lying? Because that guy threatened to put me in jail. The guy threatened to arrest me. And if you don't say it, I will arrest you now. Do you understand me? I said say it, and screaming at me. And I'm like, but the banker. And I was already been date rape, drugged. I had scared for my life. You either say it or I'll arrest you. It's like, fine, now say it. It's like, and he starts laughing at me like a demon from hell. Now I got you saying it. It's like, if you don't, you're gonna help me. I already got you saying it. I start pleading for my life. You don't understand. They will kill me. Please help me. I'm begging this bastard for my life. Fine, I'll help you, but I'll let you crazy someone badger me more. They want to bring that horrible monster from hell in my face. Besides, my God, we're sorry that guy was a monster to you. Yes, he's getting arrested. That was totally illegal what he did. I literally pleaded for my life from that monster. They will kill me. Please help me. I literally begged for my life. Do you understand? So besides them saying, we're sorry that monster mistreated you, Miss Hall. And we got him. Obstruction to justice and tampering with evidence. And no, none of that is legal. Nor would we ever bring it up again. We're sorry. And that's exactly what the media would demand. Do we understand? Monopoly.